Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in again. Today I have a tabletop review of the Beretta px4 Storm chambered in 40. In my continuous efforts to make these videos shorter but just as informative, I have done all the measurements off camera. This way I can just read them off to you, show you the functions of the guns. This way you can go about your day a little more informed. So let's get started. Loaded this firearm, by the way, again, I'm in New York, 10-round magazine, but anywhere else it would be a 15-round magazine, and this is for the 40. This is chambered in 40 for 9mm. I'm not sure how many rounds the magazine contains, but this is a 40. It would normally be 15 rounds, and loaded with 15 plus 1 would be 35.8 ounces, and the rounds I used for the weight was the RIP 115 grain ammunition. Unloaded, it's 28.75 ounces. So there's a little bit of a difference there. It is 40. It's a pretty decent weight bullet. The trigger pulls, so this is both double and single. So as you can see here, when I pull the trigger, it is an exposed hammer. It goes back and fires. Double action or single action. So single action, this is 1 pound 9.7 ounces. Double action, it's 4 pounds 9.8 ounces. The barrel length here is 4 inches. The overall length of the firearm is 7 5/8 inches. The height of the firearm is 5.5 inches, and the width at the widest point, which is the ambidextrous safety right here, is 1.5 inches. And for those of you with shack-like hands, the grip length here is 2 3/4 inches. For everyone else, there's more than enough length on here for you to grip without an issue. All right, so let's get into some of the functions of this firearm. So like I said earlier, it is double and single. It does have an ambidextrous safety, which is also a decocker, which means if you have the hammer cocked back, but you have one in the chamber, you can just pull down this lever, and what will happen is, you can probably see it here. You see that pin there that strikes the firing pin. It gets rotated out of the way, and this way you can decock the hammer without firing the round. And then this way go back into off safe, into fire, and you'll be able to, your first shot will be double action. Also, if you put it in safety, you'll see here, it deactivates the trigger, nothing happens. So they are, I believe this model is the F model. There is a G model that this is a decocker only. A lot of people prefer that, where if you were to decock it, it actually springs back up on its own into fire and doesn't stay down here. So it's no safety, it's a decocker only. Which actually I wish I would have bought myself, but there is a way to remove this and convert it into a decocker only, which maybe I'll do on another video and show you guys how to do that. So we talked about the safety here. Now the slide stop is very big. I like it, especially because I have no intention of carrying this ever, even if I lived in another state where I can conceal carry, open carry. So I don't care about this snagging on anything, but for those of you that do, it is a very big lever here, which is great because it is with no effort to just bring that down and have the slide come home. It is very nice lever there. The magazine is drop free. This does come with 2 magazines. The sights are very nice. Big 3-dot sights right there. The grips, you do have serrations in the front also when you want to do your press checks. They're pretty good, actually a little better than some other firearms. We have back serrations here as well. Now the grips, it actually comes, this back plate here is detachable, and it comes with 3 of them. So this is the smallest one. You can go to medium or large if you want to make the width a little bigger, and this texturing is Not the most aggressive, but it is a lot better than some of them out there. It really does help. And I mean, it is a full size. It's a polymer firearm, so the bottom is polymer, the top is steel. So it is a little lighter than maybe your all steel 40s, but it definitely helps get a good purchase on the gun when you're firing, because the 40 is a bit of a snappy round. It's manageable, but it's a little snappy. The mag release button is a little stiff, but it protrudes a little. It protrudes out just enough where you don't have to adjust your grip too much to be able to activate it. The magazine is drop free. And one of the interesting features on this firearm, which minimizes felt recoil, is the rotating barrel. As you see, as I bring the slide back, the barrel rotates about a quarter of the way, and that soaks up some of the recoil. And it really does help. It really does. You do feel a difference. I have a Glock 23, and shooting both, and they're both, both 40. And shooting both of them, you don't feel the recoil with this as much. It does help. And this trigger is a very nice trigger. It's pretty heavy. It's almost 5 pounds on average with the double action, but it is pretty smooth all the way through. You don't have much grit or anything. The single action, oh man, it is so nice. You get a little take up, you hit that wall, and then breaks like glass. That is a nice trigger there. A lot better than a lot of the other firearms that are fired. The does have a Picatinny rail here, so you can mount a laser light attachment on there. And that is about it. Very, very, very nice firearm. Let me show you how to take this down. Very easy. Take the mag out. You don't even have to pull the trigger on this. You literally just take the 2 tabs, just like a Glock. You bring them down and give it a little push forward, and off it comes. That's it. No tools required, no pulling the trigger required, anything. Then you have the this lug here, which it's pretty unique. Most of the time, it's just the captured spring here, spring and guide rod, and the barrel. Oh, sorry about that. Get that out there. And that is pretty much it. All there is to it. Now putting it back, it's not tricky. You just got to make sure you line everything up right. So I'll show you here. You drop the barrel down and make sure you're going to see a dot right here. That dot is facing up. You see it kind of rotates there? That dot is facing up. Then what you're going to do is, let me put this down a second. You're going to take the guide rod and spring and enter the thinner part of the guide rod into the bigger opening. You see you have a smaller opening at one end and a bigger opening at the other. You're going to join those there. Then from here, you're going to take the bigger end, line it up with the front, and then you're going to drop. What you're looking to do is drop this piece here right over that dot. And hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. There we go. Now once it's dropped down and flush, just come. Make sure that you line up the opening for the rails with the rails. You have 4. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Once it's lined up, come back and just rack it, let it go, and that's it. Make sure everything functions well. Slide stop works, trigger, and that's it. Alright folks, that is it. Lot shorter. Hope you guys appreciate that. Any info you want on this firearm, please let me know. Thanks for watching.